The development and technology issues around website design and marketing are some of the most misunderstood parts of this whole process. And what I want to do in this video is kind of give you a quick rundown about the important elements of development and technology, what you need to know about, and then I'm going to also give you some tools where you can go get more information and more resources. There's really three ways to build a website, or three important ways to build a website. The most important one is called a CMS system, or in CMS stands for Content Management System. And you can do this in two ways, either through .NET, which is Microsoft products, or an open source product, and the one that's very popular right now is Joomla, and we're going to get into Joomla in just a second. But basically, from a big picture understanding, you need to know that this is a CMS system is a way of editing your own website from any browser. So you can go to a web browser, log on to the site, and edit it in the back end, and then save your changes to the internet. So it's a very important technology, and really our favorite way to build a website, because we want all our clients to be able to edit their own websites. And within CMS, there's really two ways to do that. As I mentioned, there's .NET from Microsoft, or an open source product called Joomla. And what open source means is that all these developers around the country and around the world have decided to pool their efforts to create a software program. And because of that, it's very robust, and it's also free, and it's open to anyone who knows how to use it. And that's really the catch there, is you have to either learn how to use it or pay someone that knows how to use it. And what generally happens in businesses, we just don't have the staff or the manpower to go in and learn how to use Joomla and then do the rest of your job. So you usually have to go and find a developer that knows .NET or knows Joomla open source to build a website. But it's a very important thing to know about it, and really it is the preferred way to build websites in the CMS. But a second area that's very popular among developers is to use Adobe products. And these are software products that are designed specifically to build websites. And the most popular are Dreamweaver, Flash, and Cold Fusion. But they also have a whole host of other products, including Photoshop and Illustrator and that sort of thing. These products you buy off the shelf, you pay a pretty solid price point for them, load them on your hard drive, and start building sites. Once again, the challenge is learning how to use the software, learning the fundamentals to build a website. And most businesses don't have that talent on staff, and they have to outsource for it. The other challenge is that you need to use then an Adobe product if you want to go in and edit your site, because it's not generally going to work with the CMS program. And the third major area for building websites is HTML coding. This is actually writing the code from scratch that builds up the websites, or editing the code. Our websites are built on computer code, and that computer code is a language called HTML. And once you learn that computer language, you can go in and write code that does things like place content and graphics and photos and spaces and all the things you see on websites. Once again, very skilled type of a talent for people that do this type of work, and it's not something that's generally on site in most companies. So you have to go out and find someone that can do this. Now, depending on how you do your HTML coding, you might be able to edit it in an Adobe product, but you're probably not going to get to it through a CMS program. You're going to rely on that developer of the HTML code to go back in and make changes to your website. So this is, in a nutshell, three different ways to build a website. If you're going to go down this path, you really need to know the pros and cons of each of these and get an understanding of what you can and can't do. And the biggest issue is around, do you want to be able to edit your own site, or do you want to leave that in the hands of your website developer? Here are the resources to go and take a look at if you want to learn more about these three different ways of building websites. Joomla.com, Joomla.org is a place to go learn about open source software, in this case Joomla. You can also go to Microsoft.com/net to learn about their CMS program, which is called .NET. Joomla is free and open to anyone that can use it. Microsoft has a licensing fee for their software. Adobe.com is the central point for Dreamweaver and all the key products that are used to build websites that are most popular products out there today. In fact, Adobe.com is just an amazing company, fabulous products, and if you do anything on the web, you're going to see something that was touched by an Adobe.com product, more or less. And then finally, HTML Code Tutorial is a place to go learn all about HTML code and what it does, how to write it, and what the different symbols and so forth mean in HTML. few more pointers on technology. If you're going to go find a hosting company, it's real important that you find out about their service capabilities, how they deal with viruses and attacks to your website, and that they have a 24/7 response, that they have great uptime, which means that the sites rarely go down, and that it's affordable. And I think what you'll find is that the large hosting companies today are going to provide all those services. What you want to avoid is going with small hosting companies or someone who has a few servers in their basement or their garage and they're trying to host websites. Those folks are going to run into problems. It's just kind of the nature of the way the internet's set up. You want to go with a larger company that's safe and secure and stay away from do-it-yourself hosting. Another area to think about in technology is your e-commerce and shopping cart. And here we recommend that you go with a shopping cart you can just buy off the shelf. We use ShopSite, and I'll give you their website in just a second. But you can buy these websites and license them, or this technology. You can license it fairly inexpensive, and you can modify it. When you look at building a shopping cart from scratch, it's very expensive and probably something that you don't want to get into. And the CMS systems out there do a great job of patching into these very robust shopping carts that you can buy off the shelf. Think about your use of database and other integration, how people interact with your site. Forms tie into this. If people submit information into a form, will that be captured in your database? Can users access their own information from your database behind a login and password? All of this should be thought out in your internet marketing plan and as part of the technology components on your site. Email sign-up should be automated. You should not be collecting emails manually or having them sent to you. They should be part of an automated email marketing program that you run, and we'll talk about that in just a second. And really, the technology side of website marketing is where you think about all the interactive components. What are the different things that people want to do on sites? Do they want to be able to see your product in different colors? Do they want to be able to move your product around and look at different angles? Do they want to see videos? Do they want to be able to interact on a forum and send in a customer service question or submit something as far as a review of a product? All those interactive options are part of your technology strategy. One more to consider is website search. And website search has pros and cons. You don't necessarily want to have a website search function on your website. For one thing, many websites just aren't big enough, and people usually put in, or in many cases, people put in very unique terms to search on. And if it doesn't show up when they do that search on your site, then you got to think for a second, well, maybe they'll be disappointed and leave the website. So website search is really only used for sites that are very large, have lots of articles on them, that have very specific purposes, so people would tend to search for more specific terms that would be found in your articles. And then also e-commerce. Obviously, e-commerce sites need to have very good search functions. And then track your searches. Get a sense of how many people come in on what terms and what kind of unique phrases you're seeing. It also tell you quite a bit about what the user behavior on your website. All right, let's wrap up on technology here by looking at a few resources. Lexicon is our hosting company that we prefer. And they have all the things we mentioned: large company, great security, great customer service, and great uptime and very affordable pricing. Pricing for hosting can run anywhere from under $10 to $50, $60 a month. And you'll find that a company like Lexicon is right in the middle there. They're not so cheap that they don't have the support you need, but they're not on the higher end either. For e-commerce, we like ShopSite.com. Great e-commerce program they've put together with a variety of different levels of software you can buy. We recommend ShopSite Pro. You can license it monthly or buy a one-time licensing fee. It's a very robust system in itself, but it's also a tool that you can modify and make unique to your situation. Two email programs that we like are ConstantContact.com and iContact.com. These are great for running, once again, very robust email campaigns where you can track what the visitors do when they come to your site from the email. You can track the success of the email in many different ways. So certainly want to review those two websites, ConstantContact.com and iContact.com. And they're so affordable compared to doing this on your own or building a custom email program. And finally, for more information on technology and development issues, go to our website, intuitivewebsites.com, and you can see more resources and articles there. Next up, we're going to take a look at content on a website.